farther into space than anyone's gone, and since the last moon landing
in '72.
Yeah, two of our crew members along the way became the women who've journeyed farthest from Earth. That particular objective taught us an awful lot. It's a high radiation environment, lots of micrometeoroid and debris. So, you're kind of venturing out into a challenging environment, which was important for our mission. And then, yes, we came down, lowered our altitude, vented the entire vehicle down to vacuum, and began testing out, kind of the first new EVA or suits capable of spacewalks developed in really decades. And the first
let's not forget that you also were a guinea pig, so to say.
I don't know if we would describe that. I mean, we were along the journey for 2.5 years. So, I mean, we went there from the first version of the suit. So we were highly confident they were going to perform.
Trusted the suits.
Absolutely.
And then you... Well, make us jealous. What does it feel to stick your head out of a spaceship?
Yeah. Well, we all did it together. It's a very intense environment. You get an incredible view of Earth and a great appreciation for how hard it is to get out there and operate outside the safety of a vehicle. But that's how we're going to get to the moon and Mars again. So we need to do it.
Did you wave?
I did wave, actually. Yes.
We all waved back. You did see that.
Yeah, we were watching. It was great.
Sarah Gillis, you were waiting in line, trying to push him out so you could go out yourself, didn't you?
Well, the way our vehicle is set up is we have the displays and controls in the center of the spacecraft. And so when Jared was at the hatch ready to open it and go outside, I'm kind of monitoring all of the systems, our suit performance, the vehicle performance.
You're working.
I am working. But then, had an opportunity to go outside and do that myself. And we had different lighting experiences, I would say, where Jared entered during daylight, and then I entered space once it was dark. And so for me, it was...
looking at the lights down on Earth?
Looking at the lights, looking at like the blue kind of limb of the horizon of the Earth through the visor. But then you're really just focused on like, what are the objectives I need to accomplish? What are the movements I need to get through? What's the data I'm sending back to the ground? But it was very, very cool.
Anna Menon? Yes. And you have to really take care of those two, that they don't do anything stupid.
So, part of my role on this mission was as the medical officer. And so SpaceX put us through some fantastic training on the ground. SpaceX, made sure to leave no stone unturned. And there was the entire nominal procedure plan, but then there were a lot of backup plans. I would call this a, calculated risk, and a lot of the risk was mitigated through different steps that SpaceX took in preparation.
Jared, this is a question with two different meanings. Was it worth it?
Absolutely. I don't think any of us could climb into a rocket, 1.8, million pounds of thrust through a controlled explosion, accelerate ourselves into a very unique orbit if we didn't think it was worth the risk. So I think that's part of the reason why we packed 5 days.
Also because you paid a lot for it, didn't you?
Well, I think that it was a great contribution from both SpaceX. I mean, a lot of the heavy lifting, a lot of the investment is being done privately by SpaceX, and there are 14,000 engineers who believe in a pretty exciting future, right? I was happy that we were able to make kind of a small contribution to it. But I think, maybe one of the nice things out of this is that, it is privately and commercially funded, but, the benefit from this work is for all of humankind, which is very different than in the past during the space race where, every taxpayer was kind of contributing to the effort.